Hey Cancer, welcome to my channel, Starchaeology Tarot. I am Desi. I'm so grateful to see you here for your March tarot reading. Calling in your guides, your masters, angels, archangels. Nope, too quick. Your guides are here in this space with me, Cancer. You're an intended part of this collective. And those are the same guides that brought you to this reading. This is good for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What resonates is what is meant for you. What doesn't is meant for another member of this collective watching. So be gracious with the messages that come through today. I'm looking only for messages that align you with your highest self, your highest good, and your highest path, Cancer. I'm looking only for messages that empower you to step into your own power when it comes to creating your present moment and creating your future. What are the messages today for Cancer for the month of March? Ten of Pentacles, the Empress. Wow. Ace of Pentacles. Cancer, March looks beautiful for you. Truly. It's funny. It's like, I feel like this was Scorpio last month. The obstacle for you this month is a self-made obstacle. If you find yourself experiencing it at all, for that matter. I think some of you are not going to be struggling with this, having trouble with this. You'll be able to surrender to the good things that are happening to you in March and feeling the gratitude for those things, which of course only encourages more blessings to come your way. That's that trick of the universe. Practicing gratitude is more than just being thankful. It actually does give you more things to be grateful for. So many of you are on this place where or at this place in March really, where you feel like you're coming back to the beginning of something, but with new eyes. It's like you've been on this whole journey, this odyssey you tell me how long it's been. Has it been the last 2 years? Has it been more than that? Has it been a shorter odyssey? You feel like you've taken this journey and it's made you world weary in a way, and you're coming back now to where you started. And maybe this is simply just emotional or mental. You're like coming back to this mental space, your mental home, after having been like sent on this mental excursion for the last however many months or years. You're finding yourself at square one again, or back where you started, but it doesn't feel the same this time. It's like I've had to have this whole experience so that I could come back to this beginning with new eyes and with a new appreciation and a new sense of gratitude and wonder, and the ability to see the magic in this beginning, in this situation that maybe you couldn't see the first time around. It's like the magic power you have gained has come from experience. That experience has given you perspective. That perspective is the superpower that allows you to see the unseen in the situation that you find yourself in again. And if you hadn't taken this whole journey, this literal or physical or emotional, mental, spiritual journey, you wouldn't have that perspective now. You needed to do that. You needed to go around the world in order to come back to where you started, to see um, everything that you have to be grateful for, to see the magic in this situation. Even if it's just like this simple situation, it's like nothing's necessarily even happening. It's like joy and blessings in the most mundane and simple things, basic needs being met, the luxury of growing older. That's one of those, like, that's a blessing. That is a luxury. And this attitude is just bringing you so much joy in your life, because you have these basic needs being met and you are so grateful for these basic needs being met. It's like you have this new lease on life, that is just so much more gratitude filled and gracious. Some of you, the obstacle in this is a literal person in your life. It's maybe a worrying mother. It's someone who is, maybe wants to like take care of you in a way. Their intentions are good. They're like, I know what's best for you. Very mother energy. I know what's best for you, but this person's always also like not vibrating at the frequency that you're vibrating at. They're extremely worried. For example, they have a more worried energy, or a less grateful energy, one that's much more focused on what could go wrong than everything that's right. And that is kind of that's the obstacle for you to still connect with that gratitude and the magic of your present moment, in spite of other people telling you, like, what are you talking about? Magic in this present moment. There's all these things we need to be worried about, and you need to be watching out for this, and I know what's best for you, and you should listen to me. So for some of you, that's the obstacle. Maybe it's not even a literal person, but it's kind of that voice in your head. It's like, the mother's voice in your head that you've kind of adopted and taken on, and is part of that like inner chorus of critics. For others of you, maybe you are embodying the Empress in some way. You are the creative energy in some way. You are creating something, whether it's you're giving birth to a human being, you're becoming a mother, or you're giving birth to a project. And maybe that is somehow threatening to this kind of blessing, joy, gratitude in just the most simple things, because it's opening this door of new things for you to worry about, new things to feel like you feel burdened to like take care of, you feel responsible for. And when you feel responsible for taking care of someone else, or many people, as many mothers do, that's very much that mother mentality, it kind of can feel like the weight of the world on your shoulders, and it's harder to, that's a very dissonant vibration from the vibration of gratitude and like everything just being like good. Because so much of that is about trust, and the mothering energy is not so much trust in the environment, but more trust in self. Trust in self to take care of things, the person who's depended on, the person who's relied upon. So that's burdensome sometimes, putting all that trust in yourself when some of that trust belongs in the power that co-creates with you, which is much more Ten of Pentacles energy. So some of you, that's what you're dealing with. Others of you, I want to circle back to how I started this. There really isn't as much of an obstacle. It's like, the message is like saying, like, you have every reason to be grateful in March. You have so many good things happening to you, and yet your obstacle is recognizing your own abundance. It's like you've done this whole journey, you've gotten this new perspective, you're coming back to square one, and it's like, great, now it's the time to actually exercise that new gratitude, to exercise that new lease on life, which really depends on expecting abundance as your default, and yet you are still getting tripped up in that kind of expectation, being like, well, I can't expect abundance as my default. The scarcity mindset is so ingrained in me That even though I went out, I experienced these things firsthand that should teach me the importance of like being grateful for my present moment and affirming that, you know, I'm rich, like my life is abundant in so many ways, even though you have so much evidence of the power of that. It's still hard for you to do it in practice, and that is, sorry, this mic. That is, that's like your obstacle this month. It's like taking yourself out of your own way, really. Some of you, I want to say another interpretation of this, it's like motherhood is actually getting in the way of your ability to feel grateful. Maybe I said this in a way before, but I just want to reiterate it because I feel like I'm hearing it in a different way right now. Like being a mother, whether it's of other human beings or mother of the office, mother of a project, mother of a creative endeavor, it is getting in the way directly with you being at peace in your current situation, because you have this kind of worrying mother mentality of like, I have to take care of everything. I got to make sure everything, all basic needs are met. I'm the nurturer. I'm the one who takes care of stuff. I'm the one people depend on. And that really is at odds with your ability to just feel the peace of your present moment and recognize the blessings and just like rest in that. I think that's true for a lot of you. Is actually that's what I'm hearing. But back to what I was just saying about, if that's not resonant, if it's more resonant, like, oh wow, I have trouble recognizing my abundance. I have trouble connecting to my creativity. Some of you are in this position where you're back at square one. You've taken this journey, but you're like, I have this new perspective on life, but I'm afraid to create something now. It's like, I have the new perspective. I feel so grateful for my life, but what's stopping me in moving forward is I don't know how to create from this space. I don't know how to create from this new perspective. What do I do now? What do I create now? It's like this strange thing of just like being so grateful for your current situation that it makes like motivation and inspiration disappear, because you're just like, everything's perfect. I'm able to recognize the perfection of my current blessings, of like my present moment. But then in a weird way, that's like, maybe you're conflating that with complacency. Like you're complacent with the present moment, or it makes you actually void of like inspiration, creative inspiration, or drive to birth something new into the world. Funny how much the desire to create as artists, or the desire to give birth, to something, someone, comes from a place of seeing it as like a fix. It comes often from a place of dissatisfaction, where we're like, this pain is what is inspiring me to create, to give birth to this new project, or to give birth to this new art. And so when we don't have that pain, when we're not in that place of like scarcity or not feeling enough, but rather everything is perfect and we recognize the perfection of the given moment, it's harder to connect with that inspiration that we have, that artist inspiration we have. It's like, it's kind of cliche, isn't it? That artists the suffering artists need to be suffering in order to create. You don't need to be suffering to create. In fact, art that comes from gratitude and non-suffering is just as important as the art that comes from suffering, if not more. We may need that more than ever at this time, which may be why you find yourself in this 10 of Pentacles position, where you're able to see the beauty in the most simple things. How do you let that inspire your art and your messages that you share with people? How do you let that inspire the kind of mother you are, how you parent? And I'll tell you how. Ace of Pentacles is in our advice position here. Funny, we have a 10 of Pentacles and an Ace of Pentacles, and the Empress is right in the center. The way you do this is by starting something new, like taking a physical first step. like a physical, a brand new, like, I want to say like a new hobby, a new, like like doing something physical that is new for you. Whether that is a new art, whether that is starting that new project, whether it's like, oh, you're having trouble like giving birth to something new in the world, just do it. is really the advice. It's like take the resources, look at the resources you have and see what you can make of those resources, of those basic resources. Ace of Pentacles is like really, really resting on those resources that you have, looking at the fundamental things that you have and seeing, what can I make of this? Because even just the bare minimum, even if I have a bare minimum of things, of resources, I can turn this into something else. I'm an alchemist. I can turn this into something else. I can turn this into gold. It's like you have to have that experience, making something from nothing, Cancer, to convince you of your creative power right now, to convince you of your ability to birth something new, your ability to start, your ability to nurture, nourish, to be a mother in whatever sense that means to you, a mother of art, or a mother of your literal children. Some of you, the advice is actually like, Ace of Pentacles is like, you know, sometimes that can be like a start, a new start, like a new house, a new income, a new job, something new that is physical, that affects your physical quality of life in the world. Like, it's a physical new resource for you, a new asset. And the advice is to pursue that, because there's something about starting that new beginning, getting that new house, or taking that new job, saying yes to that new job, or starting that new class, or whatever it is, like this physical like engagement with the physical world. There's something about taking that literal physical first step that opens doors to you. It is a door that opens for you to other opportunities, to other things, to your power as the Empress, you know, to your mothering energy. You just need to say yes to that opportunity to let you exercise that part of yourself. So give yourself that opportunity by saying yes to something. Yes to something real. Say yes to something real. I think that's the message here. I would love to hear how this looks specifically for you in your life, Cancer, so feel free to comment below. And I implore you, please consider becoming a patron. If you really appreciate the work that I'm doing here and you want to help me do it better, please consider donating a few dollars a month as one of my patrons. There will be growing content on my Patreon for patrons only. There are discounted readings for one-on-one readings, if that's something that interests you. There are upper tiers that allow you to have personal monthly readings with me at a discounted rate. Please check that out. I literally cannot do this without you, without your support, without your sharing, your engagement, subscribing, liking, commenting. So anything that you're able to do, I am so deeply grateful. I am wishing you the most beautiful March, Cancer. Go get 'em, and I'll see you next time.